what, 4.5 to 5 million cubic millimeters of blood? This will be a red cell count. 7 million cubic millimeters or higher. There are people, you know what the hemoglobin is? Remember normal hemoglobin for men would be around what? 13, 14, 15. They're going to have hemoglobins of 21. They got so many red cells. What's the danger if you have too many red cells? You've got to go back to the very beginning of my lecture.
Makes the blood
Make your blood too what? Starts with the letter V. Viscous. And you're going to have trouble what? Pumping it, and that's going to put a stress on your heart. Okay? Some people, this is genetic, and you're just born with it. And if it's polycythemia, that is what? You know, inherit. You know, you inherited it. It's called polycythemia vera. How do you treat it? So simple. How do you treat it? My brother had it. Every 2 months, you know what he'd do? He'd give a pint of blood. Couldn't menstruate. So what did he do every month or two? He went and gave a pint of, it was good blood. Really loaded with what? Red cells and hemoglobin. You know what they did with it? They threw it in the garbage. Because you can't give blood from the person with a disease, right? It's inherited, but that would be nuts. I would not want somebody's blood, even though it was what, super rich. Now, how else can you get polycythemia? I can give it to every one of you, but I got to hit the lottery. So I want you all to pray. I got a lottery ticket, one for website, and we can have a party. Now, acquired. I can trick your body into making more red cells. And how I do that? Where should we go? Like Mexico? Mexico City is a lot of fun. We'll go to Mexico City. This is acquired. I'm going to do it now. And I'm going to take you all to Mexico City. Or maybe I'll take you home. I got a better place. I'll take you to Quito. Where is Quito? Q-U-I-T-O. Ecuador. Why am I going to take you to Quito? Way up. And the air is what? Very thin? Is there a lot of oxygen in that air? So when you're breathing, you're going to have a hard time getting oxygen. And what is your body going to say? I'll help you. I'll make you make more red blood cells. Now, I'll tell you the interesting part about this. If you're an athlete in the Olympics, and when they had the Mexican Olympics in Mexico City, there were a lot of athletes who came there, and they didn't perform well. Because all of a sudden, they didn't have training time at high altitude. And they came to a high altitude and they couldn't carry as much oxygen. Whereas, let's say, the marathon, the guy from Kenya, where does he train? Where in Kenya? He trains way up in the mountains. So he has a high red cell count, right? Now, some athletes caught on to this. Have you heard of doping? I think Lance Armstrong did. And what you do is a month before the big event, you can hold blood for 3-4 weeks. He gave a pint of blood, right? Put it in the refrigerator, right? Meanwhile, he made back the blood that he gave. And then the day before the race, what did he do? He gave himself a transfusion of his own blood. That's called doping. Now, if you test him right after the race, you'll catch it. You know why? In order to keep blood, you got to put in an anticoagulant. The blood would clot. And so you could pick up that chemical. But they didn't do that in the racing thing. They do it with horses. If you win a race at the racetrack,